What's up, guys? Mason the Brock Henderson here, and this is Criminal Minds, Season 14, Episode 10, Flesh and Blood. Aptly titled after the episode that this one references in Name and Blood, which I had to look up because it's been so long. And yeah, this has been kind of an interesting topic for this season, that we're seeing these episodes start to reference past episodes. You know, the first one referencing the cult episode from Season 4. I think it was Season 4. And then in this one, we reference the serial killer who was cutting out hearts in Season 3 and have his son be the one who's killing people in this episode. So yeah, it's kind of an interesting thing that they're doing this season, where they actually are seeming to draw on a lot of what we've seen in the past. At least, 2 episodes may not be a whole lot, but for a show like Criminal Minds, we don't typically see that. We don't typically see them drawing from past episodes and be like, oh, do you remember this one episode? Well, here's people that were involved or were connected to it, and now they're doing something just as bad. It's not a thing that I've come to expect from Criminal Minds. So when it does happen, it is kind of a little bit of a surprise, and a welcome surprise, honestly, because it's not just, oh, well, here's a new serial killer, and here's a new serial killer, and all of this is new, and nothing connects to anything else. We're also getting a lot of connection with the stories this season. And I don't know, typically they do have, like, the personal lives, they do progress throughout the season, and we see some characters are going through things that will be talked about in later episodes. But in this season specifically, it feels like there's a lot more connectivity between these episodes. You know, you've got what Luke went through. It spanned a couple episodes after that. You know, what he did betraying Prentice's orders. It wasn't just, it was in that episode and then they didn't talk about it again. They did talk about it over the next couple episodes, to where he finally did enough to get himself back on the team and out in the field again. For Prentice, you know, we saw the little hint of a romance with Mendoza. And yes, I still think it's a little quick and a little rushed. And I'm not sitting here going, oh my gosh, it's so cute or anything like that. But I like the fact that they're showing, yes, they are going on dates and they tend to enjoy each other's time. And he even draws reference to something that she said in that episode. What was it? I think it was episode 7, so 3 episodes ago. Most of the time, it seems like the writers for Criminal Minds, they don't really remember what happened in the last episode. They just keep writing as if this is a new episode with entirely new topics of conversation. So the fact that he brings back that line that she gave him, you know, if you don't have scars, you're not living, or something like that. He brings that back in this episode, and I'm just surprised that we are getting a lot more of that this season. So I'm glad that they're doing that, though, because it makes it feel more than just an episodic show, and that's really what it's been for a majority of its runtime. Like, yes, we've had the occasional, oh, this episode connects to the next one, but for the most part, it's been, unless it's the season finale that connects to the season opener for the next one, or the final 2 episodes of the season connect to each other, most of the time throughout the season, you just get these random stories that don't really connect that much. You know, it'll just be a different thing for each week. So I enjoy that they're doing that for this season. But as far as this one is concerned, the only disappointment I really have is that they didn't get the kid back from that episode. Because, it was 11 years ago, and they show that time. So, I don't know. I find it weird that we are referencing these past cases, but we're not bringing anybody really back. Like, we're just showing clips from those episodes. It would be more fun if they did get the same kid that played in that episode to come back and play himself again, older and now serial killer. That would be interesting. But to get just some random guy who, I'll admit he did look a little bit like the kid from the first episode that they were talking about. They did a good job at least of picking that. But I still just wish, you look at the kid and be like, yep, this is definitely him. Whereas you look at the guy now, it's like, yeah, he looks similar, I guess. They did an okay casting. And then the woman, I guess she got her comeuppance as well. But again, another case of, I was really hoping for more than just, oh, he turns on her in the end and he is about to kill her, and I don't know. It's 2 episodes in a row now where I feel like they've not done a good job of satisfying me whenever you bring in these smug bastards who are just like, oh, you have nothing to touch me, and if you keep bothering me, I'm gonna sue you. Which I will say, the lawyer was just bad, right? I'm not the only one that thought that. I mean, the way he was delivering those lines, if she even catches you following her, we are going to sue your asses. It's just no emotion in any of his lines at all. And I'm just like, okay, he was legitimately bad. But yeah, I don't know. They just made her so smug, convinced that there was something else going on. And I was also thinking we might get a few more answers as to what actually happened with her daughter's death, because she seemed to really think that these guys were responsible, but we never really got confirmed or denied the fact that yeah, they did have something to do with it. It was sort of left up in the air, and we were, I guess, supposed to believe at the end that it was just an accident and that there wasn't anything else to it. But it seemed to be a big topic of conversation for about half of the episode, and then we just never really hear about it again after, I don't know, when we get to the end of it. But yeah, the way she was acting though was very smug. It was very all high and mighty. Like you have no proof that I convinced this kid to do any of this, so guess you can't prove it. And I just wanted more than just, oh, she got kidnapped and then threatened her life and then she was scared, and basically it. So yeah, just I know it's probably because I do have a darker sense of humor, so it would be funnier for me if she got like tortured. And obviously it makes me sound sick, but I don't know. This show is kind of sick. You're watching all these serial killers kill people. So I just assumed because it's got a darker tone that we would see some of these people that are a bit more evil and smug would get more of a comeuppance than just in the last episode, oh, the guy ends up getting told off by his partner. And in this one, oh, she just gets kidnapped and then they rush in and save her life. And that's basically it. Although I guess she did technically give herself up. She admitted to what she did. But either way, it was perfectly fine. You know, I liked the connection between Prentice and the kid. It really felt genuine, which I do feel again could have been maybe brought out even more if they got the kid back. But it was still good for what it was. So yeah, that's about it. On to the next one. See you there. And now episode 11, Night Lights. So this one it was just okay. I mean, the unsub in this was perfectly fine. You know, the stalking people in the dark, hunting them down while he himself has kind of a visual problem, and I don't know. It was okay. It was another episode of Criminal Minds, and even the stuff on the outside wasn't all that interesting. Like it wasn't. I don't know. It was just okay. So essentially, Luke and Lisa are having a housewarming party, but then that's kind of it. And yeah, Reed's back now from his teaching. But yeah, I don't know. It was very simple, I guess. Like there's really not a whole lot to talk about in this episode. Like the acting was all fine. There wasn't anybody that was really awful or fantastic. And the story itself was just, I mean, I liked it. It was good. Yeah. I know it's not a lot to say in a review, but it's kind of really all I have for this episode. So I don't know. Yeah, I'm just kind of stuck on what to say. It was good. So, on to the next one. See you there. And finally, episode 12, Hamelin. So this one was a little bit more interesting than the last one, just because of this. There was a lot of mystery into what exactly was going on. I mean, these kids walking almost like they're possessed and leaving the house and then just going with their abductor. It was definitely a very intriguing and kind of frightening setup when you really thought about it. But, I mean, for the most part, it was perfectly fine. You know, the guy's story, basically all of the stories that he was hearing around town and what it caused his son to do. Yeah, I mean, makes sense why he broke. So yeah, I really did like how they set up his story though, and really made it intriguing and something that kept my interest throughout the episode to see how he was doing it and then to find out why he was doing it. All right, sorry about that. I think I'm just gonna cut out the past like 3 minutes of me talking because the dog kept interrupting me by chewing on his bone. So now I just let him outside so they don't interrupt me anymore. But like I was saying though, I just feel like the turnaround from when the unsub shot himself to finding the kids was just way too quick. Because whenever he shot himself, I mean, it was essentially a way for him to say, okay, well, now you can't find the kids anymore, and you're going to lose them just like I lost my son. That was the whole point of shooting himself, and it just felt like we come back from the commercial break, they scrape some mud or something off the bottom of his shoe, they look it up, they find the building, and boom, there are the kids. And it just felt too easy, I guess, and I get the fact that, yes, I mean, it was pretty simple, but they made him seem much more intelligent than just something as simple as, oh, he left some evidence on his shoe that allowed them to find the kids. I figured he would maybe have a couple different hiding places, or I don't know, just something set up to where it wouldn't just be as easy as go into the building, find the kids, break the lock, boom, we're done. But that was just, I don't know, it was a personal thing for me. I don't know. I wanted a bit more to it. As far as JJ's side of the story, it was okay. Just kind of on the peripheral. I like the fact that we are getting a bit more backstory for her. We're not just seeing her present. And I feel like that's mainly been what we've seen throughout the entirety of the show is her meeting William and then having kids. We've not really seen a lot of her past, and we are seeing quite a bit of it this season between finding out what happened to her sister and now we see what happens, with her mom. Yeah, very, very interesting stuff for her, but the stuff with her mom, I wasn't really fully interested in it. It was okay. It was just something that was happening on the side for me. So I don't know. It's maybe something that people really enjoyed. For me, I just couldn't latch onto it as well. But all in all, 3 perfectly fine episodes. I think the first of these 3, the one that connected to season 3, I feel like that one just, it had a little bit more to it, a little bit more depth with everything going on. These other 2 just kind of been pretty straightforward. The unsubs have been pretty straightforward. There was a little bit more mystery and intrigue with the guy in this episode, but yeah, this is kind of what I was worrying at these past 2 episodes of what these Criminal Minds reviews can turn into. And honestly, I mean, most of these CBS shows that I'm going to be watching, like NCIS or Bull, I do worry that these reviews may turn into, well, here's what I thought of the case, here's what I thought of the stuff on the outside, and we're done. So hopefully, we got 3 more episodes. Hopefully there's something that pops up. I don't know if these last 3 are all going to be connected or the last 2 are going to be connected or if it's just going to be the finale sets up for next season. But I do hope there's something else going on that at least gives me something to talk about, because I feel like the majority of the episodes in this season have given me something to really get into and discuss my feelings and really pick apart certain things, talk about the good and the bad. It's just been these last 2. It's kind of been, everything was just sort of okay. It was average, and to really talk about it would just be to rehash the episode, and I don't really want these reviews to turn into that. So yeah, that's how I feel about it. So that's it for me. So let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below. What were your thoughts on these 3 episodes? Let me know. We can talk about and discuss all that good stuff. Leave a like and subscribe for future Criminal Minds reviews, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.